Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast is supported by patrons on Patreon. To find out more or to add your support for as little as $1 a month, visit patreon.com/Manawaker. Welcome to Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast. I'm CB Drogi. This week, Tomorrow the Sunset Will Be Blue by Jeremy Szal.
Come on!
With Ben's voice booming in my helmet, he sounds right next to me, even though I'm lagging 20 meters behind. I've never been good at running. I'm even worse now in the low gravity. Slow, coach! Usually I'd tell him to shut up and keep my own pace. We'll get to see the Zilt sunset strike a mellow blue against the silvery horizon of the planet like we do every evening. But knowing what I know, I picked up speed. The big guy's grinning behind his visored helmet as I reach the hill, out of breath and soaked with sweat inside my skin-hugging surface suit. My chest heaves. "You win," I puff.
I'll get there first, she says.
He remarks, still grinning as he gently clasps me across the back with a massive gloved paw. It's what I love about him, how he cares to be gentle even with his strength. We walk shoulder to shoulder along the silvery plains, his breathing a comfortable echo in my ear. He's pale as I am dark, and a head taller than me. Our sturdy suits, linked to our individual pheromones, have the same bulky cut with thick exterior plating to withstand the occasional metal storms. His lime green for men, mine a dark purple for women. There's a constant mild tickling I've never gotten used to from the gel-coated tendrils of my inner suit that monitors my biorhythms. The microbot's AIs, being used for research and development on this planet, skitter along the pockmarked surface in search of biodiversity to absorb into their tiny bodies. The outpost we're stationed at is a corrugated smudge at our backs. It's the only one for 50 clicks. We pause for Ben to readjust the broad brown straps of my utility harness that runs in an X across my back and chest. He insists on it now. Can't be too careful with gear checks on a planet where breathing in the metal dust could kill you. Say nothing of the toxic atmosphere. People thought we were crazy to leave Colovan to come here, especially being so young. But there's nothing like the thrill of being some of the first to walk on and study a new planet. "I hope you don't mind coming out so far," I say over my shoulder.
I like walking with you, Sola.
He says, not even panting as we ascend another steep hill. Sweat's pooling under my arms and dripping down my spine as we arrive at the top.
Now there's a sight,
the big guy says. Our visors auto-polarize as we peer into the horizon. The distant sun is slowly shrinking behind razor-backed rocks and the twisting spines of the mountains, sharpened from millenniums of exposure to the metal storms. Spikes and crags shatter the light into silver-blue arcs along the rolling plains. We stand back to back, heads tilted as we slowly turn and take in the full circumference of the view. Alien plains and plateaus and weathered grasslands as far as the eye can see. It's breathtaking in its wildness, its untouched, uncolonized, its harshness a beauty and a danger. I swallow and focus on Ben and his rushed, excited breathing as we drink in the sights together. His bulky weight against my body a comforting pillar. We sit side by side, legs dangling over the precipice. Microbots skitter around us, twirling up Ben's suit arm. I notice. He doesn't.
Never going to see something like that on Colovan,
he says, knocking his bulky shoulder into mine and making my harness buckles rattle. Then he's silent for the longest time. He doesn't want to shatter the moment. But it's because of this pause I know it's coming.
They don't know yet, do they?
I close my eyes, delaying reality for a second longer. No. I don't want to turn to him, but I do. They don't know you're dead yet. Base doesn't know my helmet seal broke on our way to this very place. They don't know Ben's last actions were giving me his own helmet, saving me, before the toxic gases rotted his insides and the metal dust clogged his throat. They don't know I got every microbot I could find to eat his body, absorbing his flesh, blood, and bones and reassembling them into his exact body shape down to his flecks of red stubble. They don't know I programmed the microbots with an AI copy of his persona from the database, reprogramming it to fit him just as I remember. They don't know, because if they do, they'll withdraw us from this planet and retrieve the microbots I've stolen from their research department, wiping him forever. He's just a number to them. They won't hesitate to pull the plug if it stops bad PR. This way we're together for a short time longer. This way we can still race to see the sunset like we did every day when he was alive. However long that will be until they discover the truth. I don't know. Ben turns again to the silvery sun as it finally sets and throws a blanket of darkness across the grassy plains.
I could stare at it forever.
He breathes, draping an arm across my shoulders. I know, I say, meaning it more than he'll ever know.
It's going to be there tomorrow, of course.
I know. He removes his helmet, despite the suit's chirping warnings. It's not like he needs it. His head dissolves into a blur of glistening microbots, like a rippling waterfall of black pebbles before reassembling back into the facade of a human face. He's already breaking down. Suddenly, he throws me flat on my back and stands over me, grinning his wide grin. "Race you back, Sola!" he yells, already halfway down the hill. I pick myself up, swallowing hard before putting my usual smile, and chasing him down the hill into the roaring darkness. This has been Tomorrow the Sunset Will Be Blue, written by Jeremy Szal, and first appearing in Nature. For more information about Manawaker Studios' other projects, including books and games, visit manawaker.com, which is also where you should go to learn more about the authors featured on this podcast or to get details about submitting a story. The Flash Fiction Podcast theme song is by Kevin MacLeod. Manawaker Studios' Director of Dice is Ben Baston. I'm CB Droege. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at CBDROEGE. Thanks for listening. On the next installment of Manawaker Studios' Flash Fiction Podcast, one morning I grabbed my boots and pulled out the crumpled paper. My stocking toes just began pushing into the left boot when it went crazy.